Hello, I had to bring this video today. Uh, I know it's super late, it's getting dark outside, it's gonna be hard to see me. Uh, keep, keep the jokes to a minimum. I know I gave that was a free one. That was a free one. Okay, but anyway, my hands, my face is like beet red and dark, and my arms look like Steph Curry, like I stole Steph Curry's arms and I put them on my body. But anyway, uh, uh, this is a truth video. I'm offering a truth. I'm a very peaceful person, peace loving. I'm offering a truth for infinity doesn't exist, and I'll even throw a little bit of unified field theory in there. So here's the truth. Now we started arguing on my channel after Recuperate after I was featured the third time. This big argument came up on my channel. So this is what I want for the truth. This is the truth, okay? Now, and we started arguing about infinity existing or not, and we we got to a dead end on day one, and we have not moved from that spot. We've been talking all day long for like a week or 2 weeks, and we have not moved from our position. Neither one is even like making a dent. So this is the truth. This will end. This is a truth to end all truths. This will end the entire conversation. Okay. This is what I'll do. Okay. I will admit, and there's a huge caveat here. I will admit that number sets exist. A small amount of numbers with an ellipsis at the end. I will admit that number sets exist. I will also admit that I will also admit that uh, uh, the square root of 2. I will also admit that irrational numbers exist. I will admit that irrational numbers exist. I will also admit that animals can be taught to count. They can't count. I will admit that animals can be taught to count. This is the strangest Tunes video in history. Imagine the Crips and the Bloods talking about, can animals be taught to count, my brother? Uh, yeah, I will admit that animals can be taught to count. What else? I will also admit that you can divide 1 by 3. Not evenly, but you can divide 1 by 3. I will admit that. But you have to admit, here's the caveat. Here's the caveat. You have to admit. Oh, also about unified field theory. About unified field theory, you have to admit. I mean, about unified field theory, I will admit that. I will admit that 0 does not literally equal 1. I will admit that. I throw that in there just for you, just to sweeten the deal. Okay. I will admit that. But this is what you have to admit. You have to admit, number one, first and foremost, you have to admit that it's physically impossible for the human race to count forever. As in, when I say forever, I'm not talking about count for infinity. That's already impossible. I'm saying it's impossible for human race to count for a million years. I mean, we'll probably be extinct in less than 10 million years. So it's physically impossible for a human being to count, for the next million years, much less infinity. That's the first thing you have to admit. The second thing you have to admit is that animals can count even less than human beings. So if human beings can't count for more than a million years, I mean, animals can't count for more than a day or a few weeks. You have to admit that. And then, on top of that, here's the third thing you have to admit. You have to admit that there is not a single object in the entire universe that is infinite. There is not a single object in the entire universe that has infinite numbers. Now, you're going to say the universe is infinite. The universe cannot be infinite because the universe is expanding. If the universe was infinite, there would be no space for the universe to expand into. It's simple. Now, that's the third thing you have to admit. The fourth thing you have to admit is that infinity itself, the actual object of infinity, cannot be observed by the naked eye. You can observe atoms, electron microscope. You can observe sound waves with a sonogram or whatever. You can observe colors with a spectrogram. Um, but you cannot observe the object of infinity. You can't. So if I'll admit four things, and you admit four things, and if you accept this truth, we're gonna pour some we're gonna pour some Mountain Dew on top of the we're gonna pour some Mountain Dew on top of the Sega Genesis, and uh, uh, fly a drone over to Mark Zuckerberg's house or whatever. Inside joke there. Uh, um, and that's it. That's the truth. That's all you gotta do. You accept and I accept. You accept and I accept. All right. So accept the things, and it's mutual. And that'll be the end of uh 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 that'll be the end of the second chapter in my infinity doesn't exist era. And then when the next group of people, because I'm fighting three guys, I'm fighting Rock Hard, Winter Chaos, and Tombird. Three guys. I'm taking on three guys at once. So you guys accept your side, and I'll accept my side. It's like after World War II, the Treaty of Versailles. I mean, sorry. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait a minute. Why do I keep forgetting? I believe the Treaty of Versailles was after World War One, and that's what led to World War Two. I keep forgetting. Yeah, yeah. So the Treaty of Versailles after World War One. Uh, because they weren't making any treaties after World War Two. It was like we own you, and you're gonna get hung right now with these Nuremberg trials. So there was no Treaty of Versailles after World War Two. So yeah, it was like we're in charge. You do what we say. So uh, uh, but yeah, just everybody just I guess it's day's almost over, but tomorrow's Friday, so tomorrow's Friday. Enjoy your Friday, whatever you gotta do. So Yeah, have a nice day. Bye.